This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 5 o'clock on Wednesday, busiest travel day of the year, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm Ray Collins, glad you're with us, and a little fog out there. And John, also before we talk about weather, the Justin Bieber of the 1970s, David Cassidy, passed away late last night. Kind of a shock to many of us who grew up in the 1970s.
Bit of an end of an era, I guess.
Yeah, 67 years young.
How about that? That's way too young.
Yes.
Well, we're looking at across the region this morning, some slow go on the travel maps. A little bit of fog has developed. We don't have a dense fog advisory yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that occur as we head into the morning hours. We have a 1 1/4 mile visibility in Sarasota. 2.5 in Punta Gorda, but as you move further inland and further to the north particularly, the visibilities rapidly decrease. Also an area of disturbed weather out in the Gulf. That's going to be a big problem, I think, over the course of the next 48 hours. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes. Titan radar not showing anything along the coastline this morning, unlike yesterday morning, but the day planner does have a slightest little chance of a shower late in the day. Daytime highs will be warm under partly cloudy sky. Daytime high near 80. Right?
All right, thank you, John. Checking traffic right now, a little blip there on the screen as Cortez comes out of downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, no problems in Manatee County. You'll check the roads there in Sarasota County. You'll see Bee Ridge Road in the eastbound lane from Tuttle to Beneva, some congestion there. Otherwise, pretty clear. South County, all clear at 5:02 on your Wednesday morning. Developing overnight, a Navy airplane carrying 11 crew and passengers crashed in the Pacific. So far, 8 have been recovered, though it's unclear if they were found alive. The plane was on its way to the carrier USS Ronald Reagan in the Philippine Sea when it happened. The U.S. 7th Fleet is conducting a rescue operation. We'll keep you updated on the story throughout the morning here on ABC 7. Northport police looking for a motorcyclist involved in a hit-and-run crash on Monday night. A pedestrian was struck on the sidewalk. It happened on Northport Boulevard and Fabian Road. A few minutes later, a neighbor reported hearing the motorcycle enter the water behind homes on Fabian Road. Dive crews found this 1983 Kawasaki bike. The pedestrian was an elderly man who was hospitalized but is now recovering from injuries. If you can help, call Northport Police at the number on your screen. Deputies in Manatee County are trying to find a killer. They found a body in Malacca City, and now they're labeling this a homicide. The body was found just off the road on Verna Bethany Road in Malacca City. Deputies are calling the death suspicious. The sheriff's office has identified the victim as 42-year-old Jose Barajas Santibanez of Bradenton. He was reported missing by his daughter last Wednesday. His abandoned car was found that day in Palmetto. There's a picture of him. No word yet on the cause of death. An autopsy is scheduled for today. The city of Punta Gorda has hired its first female police chief. Pamela Davis comes from Baltimore, where she was the director of the police department's training academy. The Suncoast now has 3 female police chiefs, including the Sarasota police chief, Bernadette DePina, who is also from Baltimore.
I never looked at those positions as I was going to be the first in that. I just knew that I aspired to be a sergeant. I aspired to be a leader within the organizations, and I aspired again to be the police chief here. But it's now just great to see that there's more opportunities, and you're seeing more and more women taking advantages of those opportunities.
Well, the Punta Gorda vacancy was created when the former police chief Tom Lewis was fired after one of his officers shot and killed a woman during a citizens training academy. A Palmetto woman made a very unusual discovery in her toilet on Monday night. Danielle Craven was cleaning her bathroom when she lifted the lid and found an iguana inside the toilet bowl. She says it was so big that she wasn't sure if it was a lizard or an alligator. She posted a picture of the iguana to Facebook, and her friends came over and tried to help her right away. A local wildlife expert told Craven it's possible the iguana came up through the home's pipes.
My toilet was clogged on Sunday morning. It was clogged. So we just thought maybe one of our kids used too much toilet paper. We didn't know. So my husband unclogged it, and 12 hours later, this thing shows up.
Wow. Craven's friend helped her get the iguana out safely. It is now in the hands of the local wildlife rescue. Plans are now underway to spend several $1 million to upgrade the Lido Key Pavilion. The renovations include a 200-seat restaurant, tiki bar, ice cream parlor. As ABC 7's Bobeth Yates tells us, the city is leasing the space to a private company.
For decades, this Lido Beach concession stand has been a Suncoast staple, but now efforts are underway for complete renovation and also a restaurant.
This is going to save a lot of taxpayer dollars. It's going to reinvigorate and update the Lido Pavilion and really bring it back up to the jewel that it is for the entire community to enjoy.
Commissioner Hagan Brody is referring to the 4-1 vote to approve a 10-year lease of the Lido Beach Pavilion and Pool to local developers Lido Beach Development Partners, LLC. According to the agreement, the group, which includes the owner of the daiquiri deck, will turn the facility into a 20-seat restaurant. In return, the organization will pay about $80,000 in rent for the first year, $90,000 for the second, and $100,000 for the third year and beyond, with potential for other increases. They also agreed to spend about $4 million to renovate the bathrooms, the pool, as well as add a splash pad, tiki bar, and ice cream parlor. Work city officials say it was badly needed, but they could not afford. But not everyone is celebrating the move.
One thing that's particularly pernicious about this process is that it was done behind closed doors with one particular contractor, the owner of the daiquiri deck. It wasn't bids, it was an invitation to negotiate. This was all crafted behind the scenes. You could tell these commissioners had had their minds made up before they heard the overwhelming public opposition.
In addition, Control Growth Now representative Dan Lobeck says the 10-year lease with 2 additional 10-year options is a disservice to the community because it takes away one of its last gems.
What's been public and free and open is going to be a commercial enterprise with immense amounts of traffic, taking away beach parking, which is scarce to begin with, causing all kinds of trouble for the neighborhoods.
Well, it's easy to be critical of any changes. It takes guts and vision to challenge the status quo for the betterment of the entire community. And that's exactly what my fellow commissioners did.
Construction is expected to begin by May 2018, and the facility should be up and running by June 2019. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Just in time for the holiday season, Manatee County deputies announced a new crackdown on shoplifting. The undercover operation is called Elf on the Shelf. Deputies and retail stores. Shoplifting costs retailers around the country billions of dollars every year still. The Sheriff's Office counts 582 incidents of shoplifting so far this year in Manatee County. If a person is caught stealing $300 or more in merchandise, they'll be charged with a third-degree felony. In Charlotte County, deputies arrested a mother and daughter on charges of neglecting the elderly. Deputies say this pair, Tracy Wagner and Farron Webb, were caregivers for a 91-year-old man they reportedly left on the floor of his home for a week. It happened during the hurricane in September. Investigators say the woman evacuated, but they left the man to fend for himself. Days later, a neighbor found him on the floor, malnourished and dehydrated. Governor Scott wants a state Supreme Court justice disqualified from a pending case. Scott charges that Justice Barbara Parente may be biased against the Republican governor. The motion is based on comments made by the justice, including one caught on microphone after a recent hearing in a case over Scott's appointment power. A lawsuit has been filed contending the governor should not be allowed to appoint 3 new justices on his final day in office in 2019. A Miami-Dade nursery and a Florida man who suffers from epilepsy are also suing Governor Scott's administration over how long it takes to implement that medical marijuana law. Bill's Nursery and a Michael Bowen filed a lawsuit that asked the judge to order the Department of Health to hand out new licenses for treatment centers. A new state law required the state to hand out 10 new licenses by October, but so far it's been just 6. Bowen says he needs medical marijuana to prevent seizures for his epilepsy. He says the department's inexcusable foot dragging is preventing patients from across the state to access medical marijuana. A department spokesperson says the state is working diligently to implement this new law. Florida health officials are moving forward with the production of medical marijuana IDs. The passage of Amendment 2 last year expanded conditions that people could request cannabis. The health office has seen an average of 264 patients per day added to the registry. They say the IDs are necessary for public safety. So what do you want for the holiday season? A new survey is out and AAA says gift cards top the poll, followed by cash and clothing. As for when consumers plan to shop this year, 52% say they'll start on Black Friday later on this week. 51% say they'll start on Cyber Monday next week. Floridians spend an average of $951 each on gifts, which is about 9% more than last year. Happening today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is taking part in the inaugural Sylvester Bellamy Thanksgiving Drive. The event is coordinated by Sylvester's brother, Ray Bellamy. Sylvester was a longtime Manatee County Sheriff deputy who passed away 3 years ago. This Thanksgiving drive will give away more than 150 meal baskets to needy families and the homeless. Members of the Sheriff's Office, police in Bradenton, police from Palmetto will all assist Ray Bellamy in the giveaway, which starts at 8:45 this morning at Lincoln Middle School in Palmetto. Today is the busiest travel day of the year, and FHP is doing its part to make sure you all arrive alive for the holiday. Law enforcement across the state worked more than 10,000 crashes last Thanksgiving holiday. Wow. FHP will also increase its presence on the road today through Sunday to take care of the high volume of traffic. If you see an impaired or aggressive driver, you can help out by hitting star FHP or star 347 on your cell phone. Keep that handy.
What's star 347 do?
You get FHP and say, I saw a bad driver.
Oh, is that what it goes to? I see.
Yeah.
FHP is 347. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's early.
It's a little early.
It's
yeah.
early. It's
I
only
do my second
5:11.
cup. You have a dash cam?
No, do you?
No, I do not.
It seems more European, really.
I know, but I think it's spreading to the United States. I
think
see
so?
them in the stores now. So, yeah, might be a camera on every dashboard in the next few years. Who
It certainly
knows?
would help in fender benders, yeah.
You're not kidding, yeah. So we have some fog out there this morning. Speaking of fender benders, we might see hopefully we won't see a few due to the reduced visibilities, but it's down to, less than a half a mile in some places. So, a little extra time perhaps this morning for your commute. We have some beautiful weather afterwards, though. We'll talk about that in a second.
Also talk about first alert traffic, and one of the biggest pop idols of the 70s has passed away. A look at the life of David Cassidy. And later in the hour, President Trump says he believes Roy Moore's denials of sexual misconduct in Alabama. Those comments at 5:34.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I'm Alan Cohn. Drones helping law enforcement. They are slowly buzzing their way into the hands of first responders. The technology now being used to solve crimes.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature and a dew point value that are exactly the same. And when that happens and other conditions are met, you have a good chance of seeing some fog form. And that's what we have this morning. In places, it's fairly dense fog. So allow yourself a little extra time. The fog kind of ebbs and flows and moves from one place to another. So just be aware that you could run into some on your morning commute if you are commuting this morning. We have an east wind coming in at about 5, 62 degrees in Wauchula, 61 in Arcadia, 61 in Mayaca. The further east you go, the denser the fog is likely to be. Also, the further north you go, the denser the fog is likely to be. 62 degrees in Sarasota, 64 in Venice, 62 in Bradenton Parish at 62, and Northport comes in at 61 degrees. So across the nation today, we have a frontal boundary that's closing in on the northeast. That's producing a few scattered showers along the immediate coastline of D.C. area on up into the New York area. Also some lake effect snows, some of it fairly heavy right along the immediate coastline. But the frontal boundary itself, also down in the southern tip of it, has a little area of low pressure developing, which is what we're going to watch. It could cause a fairly decent shower and thunderstorm shield to develop around that low and move closer to our coastline tomorrow. And I think it will. The computer models seem to be handling this fairly well, and it does look like we will see about a 60 to 70% chance of showers and even a thunderstorm around tomorrow. Might have to call tomorrow a first alert weather day, only because there'll be so much outdoor activity, obviously, that it could be a problem for some of those folks who have planned, you know, maybe their picnic table outside to house some of the overflow guests. Could be a problem because of the rain showers around. But today, low rain chances, but then good rain chances on Thanksgiving Day. The good news is everything will clear out of here by the second half of Friday, and we should be left with some very pleasant weather. The forecast calls for a beach and boating forecast of a light wind today, northeast at about 5 to 10. But as I said, watch out for that fog because it could be thick along the coastline and linger a little longer. As we head into tomorrow, 70% chance of rain, clearing Friday. The weekend looks great. Ray?
Good timing. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. Some buildup on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Sarasota County, a little buildup there as you leave Lakewood Ranch on University and head west under the interstate there in the diverging diamond, as we call it now. Farther south, we'll check the final map and see a little blip there as you get off the interstate and head south on 681. Otherwise, no problems right now in South Sarasota County. Well, if you're over a certain age, you recall one of the biggest pop stars of the 1970s, David Cassidy. His role in the Partridge Family made him a teen idol. But the years were not kind to Cassidy. He passed away last night at the age of 67. Reporter Stephanie Elam has this look back.
It's one of those nights when you turn out the lights and you
David Cassidy was the ultimate teenage idol. Known for his role as Keith in the 1970s hit TV series The Partridge Family, Cassidy's fresh face, wide-eyed charm captured the hearts of millions of girls worldwide.
You're taking Auto Shop. Auto Shop? Me too.
The Partridge Family, a musical sitcom about a family and a rock and roll band, gave Cassidy a national audience for his own music.
I Think I Love You.
I Think I Love You, the show's first single, topped the Billboard 100 in 1970 and sold over 5 million copies.
I was always a musician. I was played, but I never pursued my career as a musician. It was just fate, you know, the way the stars align themselves.
Cassidy's wispy voice and wholesome persona broke out from the small screen and into sold-out arenas around the globe. His fan club at one time reportedly had more members than Elvis or the Beatles. But in 1972, at the height of his Partridge Family fame, Cassidy began to shift away from his squeaky clean image. He appeared naked on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine and in the article admitted using drugs and alcohol. It marked a turning point in his career and his life. 4 years after the Partridge Family hit the air, his teenage fan base had moved on, and so had Cassidy.
This hero worship was so great, I had to leave it. I couldn't sustain it any longer.
Superstardom long behind him, Cassidy turned to Broadway. In 1993, he starred in the British musical Blood Brothers. 3 years later, he moved to Vegas where he headlined the MGM Grand's EFX show, at the time the largest theatrical production in the world. In private, though, Cassidy struggled with alcoholism, a battle that would soon take a very public turn. In his 60s, Cassidy faced multiple charges of driving under the influence and went through rehab.
It's very humbling and it's also humiliating.
But his biggest battle was yet to come. In 2017, Cassidy revealed that he suffered from dementia. His mother had died of complications from Alzheimer's disease only a few years before.
To watch someone that raised you and was so vibrant start to lose their mind and disappear is arguably the most painful thing I've ever experienced.
Looking back on his own life, there is one memory Cassidy hopes will never fade: his 1972 concert in Madison Square Garden. Cassidy leaped onto the stage in his signature white sequin jumpsuit. Thousands of adoring fans screamed his name, his own family among them.
It was just so emotional for me, and I just felt so blessed to have that moment with them. I mean, it's a highlight of my life.
He was my first idol. Never did much, though, since the 1970s. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast. Google receiving flack over privacy issues when it comes to your Android phone. We'll tell you why. And at 5:30, a prominent figure in the Disney empire, the latest from Hollywood, accused of, you got it, sexual harassment. Those stories and more when we come back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Now, the Venice Fire Department visited Venice Elementary School to discuss the importance of education in their profession. Firefighters talk to the kids about how they use math and science in their job every day. They also demonstrated some tools and equipment that they use on the fire ground. Afterwards, crews brought the children outside to show them how they use the 100-foot ladder truck. Kids also got to ride in the department's brand new utility vehicle used for special events. If you've got any pictures you can send our way, we'd love to see them. You can send them to Ray Collins at ABC7 on Facebook, or John Scalzi, or on Twitter as well, and we'll get them on for you, so please send those pictures this way. We have a new app for you to check out, WWSB or My Suncoast at the App Store. Get your updates automatically to to your phone for breaking news alerts. A new report says Google collection users' location through phones. Let's try that again. Google collection users' locations through phones, even with location services, are turned off. ABC's Candace Gibson and Di Macedo have the story.
In today's Tech Bites, Google as Big Brother. The company confirms that Android phones have been collecting location data all year, even when location services are disabled.
And that data has been sent back to Google, which claims it was never used or even stored. Yet Google says it's ending the practice.
Flux Design is calling its Track One a skateboard, but it looks more like a scooter. It also has an electric motor, 2 wheels, and a tread like a tank, so it can go on any terrain.
Flux is seeking crowdfunding. When available in a year, prices will start at about $2,000. And a British man is baffled with his Amazon order.
Yeah, the bubble wrap he ordered was packaged with incredible care, wrapped in 100 feet of brown paper.
That, by the way, was the same length as the bubble wrap itself.
Then you wouldn't be able to pop all the bubbles if it wasn't wrapped carefully.
That's true. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Eliquis.
I accept I don't conquer the mountain like I used to. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But whatever trail I take, I go for my best. So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis. Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best, and for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors. Attention iPhone and iPad users. If you have the ABC7 News app on your devices, you must download the new version now before your current app expires on November 30th. Android users, you'll get the new version automatically. But iOS users, if you want to keep getting breaking news and weather alerts, video on demand, ABC7 live streaming, and more, search My Suncoast in the App Store and download the all-new ABC7 News app now before yours expires.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level,
When your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, President Trump arrives in Palm Beach for the holiday weekend. We'll tell you what he said about the sexual allegations against an Alabama Senate candidate. Amazing video of a North Korean soldier trying to defect to the South. We'll tell you why the UN says his former colleagues broke policy while trying to capture him. And more controversy for Uber. This one involves a data breach and a payout. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, early risers. 5:31 right now on Wednesday morning, the day before Thanksgiving. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. Also with us is some fog outside the window. John Scalzi has details of that.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, along the coastline, I think it might linger a little bit longer than in inland areas where it should burn off to partly cloudy skies by pretty quickly after dawn. However, along the coast right now, some visibilities have been reduced to a half mile or less. Sarasota has a half mile. Punta Gorda has 3/4 mile. And the further north you go and the further inland you go, the thicker the fog becomes fairly rapidly, actually. So if you're traveling up toward, say into Hillsborough County, you're going to encounter some fairly thick fog along that route. So just allow yourself a little extra time depending on your destination. There's a cluster of clouds out in the Gulf waters. You can almost see that swirl that's taking place up around the Louisiana Delta region. That's an area of low pressure that promises us a better rain chance as we head into tomorrow. But for today, scanning radar not showing much in the way of radar echoes across the entire state. Now, I don't think we're going to see much rainfall today. We'll put in about a 20% chance of an isolated sprinkle or maybe a shower late in the day. It's pretty unlikely, though. And a daytime high that'll top out mild under mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy skies at around 80 degrees. We'll have the forecast for tomorrow coming up in just a few. Ray.
Thank you, John. Checking Manatee County. Some congestion there around 301 and State Road 70. Otherwise, pretty quiet right now in Manatee County. Farther south, look at Siesta Key. Quite a bit of traffic already out there this morning. Also, Bee Ridge Road in the eastbound lane around Tuttle toward Beneva. Also Lakewood Ranch as well. Quiet, though, to the south on the South County map. They're all quiet at 5:33 on your Wednesday morning. Our top story, President Trump is now in Florida for the Thanksgiving holiday. Before leaving the White House last night, he addressed the sexual misconduct allegations around Roy Moore's special Senate race in Alabama.
President Trump doesn't usually hold back his opinions, but for 12 days, he didn't say much about the sexual misconduct accusations against Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore.
Mr. President, is an accused child molester better than a Democrat?
He totally denies it. He says it didn't happen. And, you know, you have to listen to him also.
The president, who's also had sexual allegations made against him, sticking with the former Alabama judge's denials. 8 women have come forward saying they were in some way sexually assaulted by Moore 40 years ago. Some were teens at the time. The president insisting there is no other option in this race.
What do you think about his candidacy? I can tell you one thing for sure. We don't need a liberal person in there, a Democrat. Jones.
In a Tuesday night interview on the Alabama cable network, Moore vehemently denounced the allegations against him.
I never dated underage women, and I never engaged in sexual misconduct with anybody.
But women we spoke to in Alabama said Moore had a reputation.
He preferred younger women and to keep an eye on the young girls while they were working because he would try to date them, and sometimes it made them nervous.
Sexual allegations rocking both the political and media world. Accusations of sexual misconduct against veteran journalist Charlie Rose have cost him his job at CBS News, PBS, and Bloomberg TV. Rose first apologized to his accusers and then later said this to Splash News.
You want to say anything to those accusers, the people that's accusing you of all these wrongdoings?
It's not wrongdoings.
Gayle King spoke about her former CBS This Morning co-host Charlie Rose last night on Stephen Colbert, and she called all of this very painful. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Meantime, Disney executive and Pixar co-founder John Lasseter is taking a leave of absence amid allegations of his own sexual misconduct. In an internal memo to Disney employees, Lasseter apologized, referencing what he calls missteps. He wrote in part, "It's been brought to my attention that I have made some of you feel disrespected or uncomfortable. That was not my intent." It comes after a story by The Hollywood Reporter that detailed Lasseter's pattern of alleged misconduct. According to an unnamed Pixar employee, Lasseter was known for grabbing, kissing, and making sexual comments about physical attributes. Caught on camera, amazing video released of a North Korean soldier's attempted escape. You'll see the soldier leave the car and make a run for South Korea. South Korean soldiers off camera got him to safety, but North Korean soldiers fired nearly 40 rounds trying to stop the defector. As a result, the UN says the North violated the policy by crossing the border and firing toward the South. The defector remains hospitalized and has already been through 2 rounds of surgery. The surgeon said, quote, "The soldier risked his life for the positive sides of South Korea." Well, President Trump again is here last night in the Sunshine State. Air Force One landed at Palm Beach International Airport. Supporters were there to greet him when he landed. The president is planning to meet with the family and also spend time at Mar-a-Lago for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Protesters of the president's immigration policies later greeted him with this demonstration outside Mar-a-Lago. The group wants Trump to renew the temporary protected status for Haitian immigrants who were allowed in after the earthquake there 7 years ago. They now have until 2019 to become a citizen or leave the country. One woman says the program, though, has been a lifeline for her and her family.
I lost everything I have in Haiti. My mom, my family, my dad, everybody, they are living under the tent. So I'm here. The TPS helped me to work.
The TPS designation happened in 2010 after the earthquake devastated Haiti. Also caught on camera, a bear loose on I-75 in southwest Florida. It slowed down traffic for several hours last night near Naples. The bear was found on Alligator Alley near mile marker 93. A road ranger cut a hole in the fence along I-75 to let the bear return to safety. Now, crews plan to stand guard until that fence is fixed so the bear doesn't make a cameo back on the road. Uber reports that hackers accessed the personal information of 57 million users last year. The company says 2 people obtained rider names, email addresses, and phone numbers. The hackers also accessed the driver's license numbers of about 600,000 drivers. Uber's CEO says the victims were not notified because Uber identified the hackers and made sure the stolen data was destroyed. But Bloomberg reports it paid the hackers, rather Uber paid the hackers, $100,000 ransom. Well, a bold prediction about the nation's unemployment rate. Goldman Sachs says the U.S. unemployment rate will likely fall to 3.5% by 2019. This hasn't been seen since the year 1969. The jobless rate rose to 10% during the Great Recession, but has since gone down to 4.1%. President Trump's new FCC chief wants to repeal net neutrality. Media reports say he'll announce a plan this week and will seek a vote in December. The net neutrality rules were created 2 years ago under the Obama administration. They prevent broadband providers from slowing down, blocking, or charging more for delivery of particular internet content. The Justice Department is suing to block AT&T's $85 billion bid to take over Time Warner. Now, if the merger is approved, the Justice Department warns it could mean higher cable bills across the country. Time Warner owns networks like CNN, TBS, HBO, and AT&T owns DirecTV. Now, if they were to merge, the DOJ argues they'd be able to charge competitors hundreds of millions of dollars more for distribution rights. AT&T is fighting the DOJ lawsuit.
I've done a lot of deals in my career, but I've never done one where we have disagreed with the Department of Justice so much on even the most basic of facts.
During last year's presidential campaign, then candidate Trump argued against the deal. The Justice Department officials say they are not opposing the deal because of politics. New research suggests that signs of water on Mars may not actually be water after all. Look at these pictures from the red planet. Back in 2011, astronomers discovered dark streaks on the slopes of Mars. According to a new study published by the journal Nature Geoscience, those streaks may actually be from dust and sand, not water. This new discovery does not completely discredit the original theory. Researchers say there's plenty of evidence for water on Mars, such as ice on the planet's subsurface and poles. And our first look now at the observed object coming from outside our solar system. It was spotted last month by the Pan-STARRS-1 telescope in Hawaii. Scientists are calling it an interstellar asteroid, the first of its kind. Astronomers say the object could carry secrets on how other solar systems have formed, but they move so fast it's hard to see or to study them. This is the stuff that you love.
That's incredible that they could find an object that relatively small, moving that relatively fast with a telescope here on Earth. That's pretty impressive.
Amazing science. Yeah.
We've got some lovely weather here on the Suncoast after the fog lifts, but right now the fog is thick in places, particularly in inland locations and right along the immediate coastline as well. We'll detail that for you in a sec.
Also, we'll detail first alert traffic, and these medical employees refused to receive flu shots. We'll tell you how the hospital responded up next in Health Smart.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
62-degree air temperature and a dew point to match, giving 100% relative humidity. When temperature and dew point are the same, that's when you get the chance of fog around, and certainly that's what we're seeing across the area right now. Some places the fog is a little bit denser than other places, and it kind of ebbs and flows and comes and goes. But generally speaking, right along the immediate coastline, right along the water, you're getting a better chance of seeing the dense fog, especially important for mariners. And then inland and to the north, better chance for dense fog. Northeast wind coming in at about 3. Most locations that fog is going to burn off pretty quickly and lead to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures generally uniformly in the low 60s this morning across the region. A frontal boundary approaching the northeast coastline, producing some lake effect snows and some coastal showers. For us, we watch this area of low pressure developing and moving toward the Florida coastline. It'll be on our doorstep by tomorrow and enhance our rainfall chances dramatically as we head into the morning hours and into the afternoon. As that low approaches the coastline, you'll notice the clouds thicken by dawn tomorrow, and then chances of rainfall during the afternoon spike up to about 70%. And we could even see a thunderstorm or two move through late in the day. So just so you're aware of that, there could be at times periods of some heavier rainfall across the region late in the day on Thanksgiving. Low rain chances today, however, better rain chances tomorrow, and then rapid clearing on Friday, leading to a very nice weekend, I think. Across the state today, not much in the way of rain chances currently, but there is that fog issue, and that will, as I mentioned, along the coastline linger a little longer. Now, in the rainfall futurecast, you'll notice that the bullseye for the heavier rain will be to the north. Like yesterday, I think the little impulse will tend to move up toward the Big Bend region and produce the heavier rainfall there. For us, again, like yesterday, the best chances of rain are going to be in inland areas, but even coastal regions have a chance at seeing some showers and even a thunderstorm or two roll on shore. Better chance tomorrow, I think, than we saw yesterday, with about a 70% chance of some of those showers holding together and producing some decent rainfall around. Watch the futurecast. Put it into motion. Today, not so bad. Tomorrow, that area of low pressure spins around and we get those storms that move on shore. And as I mentioned, some of them could produce some fairly strong winds and rain. Now, severe weather is not in the picture. That's the good news. But certainly some half-inch rainfall, certainly not out of the question tomorrow. And then everything kind of clears out on Friday and we're left with some pleasant weather. Across the nation, if you're traveling today, lake effect snows along the easternmost Great Lakes, so watch for that if you're traveling up toward, say, Baltimore or up to Waterbury. As far as the coastline goes, some scattered showers, around the D.C. area, but I don't think that'll be a big problem for the aircraft. And then Pacific Northwest, more showers and some gusty winds there could lead to some airport problems in Portland and Seattle. North-northeast wind at about 5 to 10 today, and the forecast for the rest of the week, well, showers tomorrow, then clearing Friday. And so far the weekend looks really great with low humidity air, plenty of sunshine, daytime highs in the mid-70s. Ray?
Picture perfect. Okay, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic in Manatee County. A delay still continues there at State Road 70 in the westbound lane as you cross over US 301, otherwise pretty quiet right now in Manatee County. You'll see some buildup on University as you get into Lakewood Ranch, as you get under the interstate there. Also the Bayfront and Bee Ridge and the eastbound lane around Tuttle. And Siesta Keys showing some action already as well. South County, though, all clear at 549. In this hour's Health Smart, a Minnesota hospital discovered just 82% of its employees got flu shots last year. So administrators decided a new approach this year, either get the flu shot or get out. Well, some workers are crying foul. Michelle Alfini has the story.
For dozens of Essentia Health employees,
it was a stressful day.
Monday meant coming to work without knowing whether or not they would make it to Tuesday, all because of the flu shot.
Purely voluntary or more education doesn't get you those high levels
of immunization compliance.
That's why Chief of Patient Quality and Safety Dr. Rajesh Prabhu says Essentia decided to take a mandatory approach. Since September, Essentia has told employees, volunteers, students, and vendors they have 3 options: get the flu shot, get an approved religious or medical exemption, or leave Essentia. So far, he says 99.5% of employees have chosen the first 2 options, but 50 or so have been terminated, with more left waiting to hear back on their exemptions.
We believe that they will be denying some of those, and then those individuals may end up terminated also.
Minnesota Nurses Association Duluth Chair Steve Strand says with so many employees in that limbo, his union doesn't know how many members have lost their jobs just yet. But Strand says they do intend to fight any terminations for a policy they say is unnecessarily intrusive and may not even be effective.
The flu shot isn't a be-all, end-all. It only has a certain efficacy.
Essentia stands by its policy, saying that's what it takes to keep patients and fellow workers safe from potential infections this flu season.
People may debate how effective that is, but based on what the level of evidence is and what our peers are doing, we thought this was the best way to protect our patients.
2 unions have filed unfair labor practices against Essential Health. They say the company did not negotiate with union members before establishing this new policy. Still ahead, your top local news headlines. And can you do as many push-ups as a German Shepherd? You'll meet Nitro, the police dog, after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills. Wow! Stop stains and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Finally, Gulf Shores Police in Alabama posted this video of officers and a canine named Nitro doing push-ups together. The department said they were warming up and decided to have Nitro join them, and he did. This post has been viewed 60,000 times and shared 1,100 times on Facebook. Because of the popularity of this, the Gulf Shore Police hope to feature other of the K9 units in future posts if they can do sit-ups, perhaps, something like that.
Oh, that's funny.
How do you start that?
Good stuff. I don't know. It took a lot of training, I would imagine, to get the dog to do that.
A lot of biscuits and rewards.
Don't you think?
That's right.
That's what it takes for me, anyway. Looking at a little fog out there this morning. He's up off the gas pedal. Allow some extra time. Details on that in a moment.
More local news. John's traffic and Stephanie Roberts in 3 minutes. Stay with us.